There. I'm Neat,
I'm
and
Rocks.
this is the
A
Bourbon
bourbon
Barrel.
barrel.
And today we've got
We're gonna what? High beams?
high
Or
beams,
what did you say about it was? You
not
said.
just flashing people anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
These are all Beam products, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Knob
and
Creek.
that's
Yep. Yep.
why.
Yep.
So
Bakers and Bookers. Yep.
we've got the Bookers, the Bakers, and the Knob Creek makers.
What did you?
Old childhood
No.
poetries.
I
And
believe it. Love
so
it.
we were gonna try these and see what we thought. And
Sure.
I feel like we should start with the one that's open, which is the knob.
I have.
We have Knob Creek Quarter Oak.
I've never tasted either of these.
Okay.
Have you?
I've tasted Booker's. I've not tasted this version of Booker's.
Right. Okay.
And I've had Baker's when it was
Small
used in
batch.
a recipe.
Oh, okay.
It was the
All right.
old bottle too.
The old bottles were small batch, and the
Okay.
new ones are single barrel.
So,
Booker's, all Booker's is small batch.
yeah.
But Booker no coined small batch, helped create small batch, or created. He's kind of credited with creating small batch whiskeys. So, which you know what else is now? What else? Because this is a new episode. You don't know. Shut up.
Oh,
You
I
guys
mean,
talk too much. All right, you can just quiet down and let us talk. It's about time. Anyway, yeah. See, you guys are still running
but
your mouth.
so this is actually a cool little thing that I saw on these new bottles. Aside from the top of the cork being like this super cool like logo stuff, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, those are.
Also on the neck label, you have things like it was the date it was barreled, which was in 2014. It was May of 2014, oh 05,
Mhm.
and it's barrel aged for 7 years, 3 months. I actually have a bottle of the same stuff that says 7 years, 4 months.
His
For
is
whatever
older
reason,
than mine.
just a little bit. But it also has the serial number, the warehouse, and the proof, which is 107 because it's Baker's 107. But it's really cool that they put all that information right there for you.
Yep.
I was just thinking that. So sorry, you were in the middle of something.
I really wasn't. I'm just
Oh,
rambling.
I
I'm
was
just a
riffing
rambling
because you
man.
were looking for something, I thought.
Fair enough. I don't really remember what it was, but I believe you.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing important that we can't get to at some point.
That's
That's
fair.
30-minute-ish episode.
So
So,
first off, how about we try some knots?
yeah. I mean,
So this is Knob Creek Quarter Oak. We've tried it before.
when you said this,
Yeah, I know,
when
right?
you say that, I can't say anything because of YouTube.
YouTube.
Anyway,
Uh, we can always open a Rumble.
just stuck my tongue out of YouTube as if any of them gave a flying rat's poop about that.
So seventh generation master distiller Fred Noe,
Yep.
Noe. This is
Booker.
50%, so 100 proof.
I think it's Booker's son.
Okay.
Because there's Fred and Fred Jr. after Booker. So yeah, I think we did this on one of our very
We
first
did do this on
episodes.
one of our first episodes, and this will be interesting to go back to it because I
Not
don't think
Creek
I've.
Corner. Back when we did these weird ranking things that we don't do anymore per se, we both had them. I mean, you said 3.1. I said 3.3.
So
So
middle of the road.
2.
But now that we've gone through a lot more bourbons and we've decided that we like the oak stuff a little bit more, maybe that'll improve our. There you go, buddy.
Thank you. Go ahead. You can ramble. It's fine.
But yeah, so we
I'm
haven't
gonna
really
snort
had
while you're
this
rambling. Is that
in at
fine?
least a couple months. I can't believe it's only been 6 months since we've been doing this. It's been like 6, maybe 7 months since we've done this, and we've tried over 50 bourbons, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's not counting the scotches and the whiskeys we tasted
Yeah,
that weren't
that
didn't
rye.
cover bourbon. Yeah, yeah. So we're over definitely over 60. Far and
Wow.
away over
And
60.
that's in 6 months. That's 10 a month, man. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Taste wise,
We're gonna
yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing some more blinds of shit we already have in our
Yeah.
mouth.
We're spending
Way much
yeah.
dollar bills.
We're spending way much dollar bills. Good,
Yes.
thank you, excellent.
You're welcome.
I remember thinking I didn't hate the cork. I don't feel like I've ever had Knob Creek and thought it was awful. You know what I mean?
Only when I've compared it to other things that I thought were way above and beyond. But yeah, no,
Did I totally just sip this before you?
it's fine.
Okay, sorry. In a way. I mean,
I'm not getting much on the nose.
what the hell? I mean, okay. I'm gonna say
Who do you think you are?
quarter oak to me exactly.
Uh,
Portion of our bourbon is rested in quarter cask barrels.
Smaller barrels,
So we're talking instead of like 53 quarter, so we're down to
quarter cask,
25, 12, 13 gallon barrels.
something like that. So it will age faster.
Right, right. And married with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's 100 proof.
Yeah.
So limited release, it says. Do we see these normally? It's the quarter? Do
Hmm.
we? Okay. I don't over I don't overly look for things that I'm not specifically looking for. When I go in there to any of the liquor stores, I'm looking for any new things, any deals,
Any wild new things?
any yeah. But Knob Creek, we had some Knob Creeks. I've had some
They
Knob
have the
Creeks.
Knob Creek 9, Knob Creek 15 on the shelf all the time, and I'm pretty sure the Quarter Oak's right next to it.
The 15 occasionally will be gone because that's over $100.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
the 15's
115
not.
bucks for the
Lately, it's been pretty available.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen times when I didn't see either place, so it's not
There's
super
been
cheap.
times, but it's also usually there for a while
Yeah,
because
yeah,
no
for
one,
sure.
not everyone's going out and buying a $115 bottle of bourbon,
No.
especially when there's so many tasty options in that $25 range, like the Wild Turkey 101 that we just had.
Yeah, there's so many that are price doesn't always equal quality
That's
by
true.
any stretch of the
Like
imagination.
even now that we're drinking this, and that's like a $50 bottle, that Quarter Oak.
Is it?
I
Oh,
think
oh,
it's
you
yeah,
bought that,
yeah.
so yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
I'd still go with the Wild Turkey 101 over this, and they're both about 100 proof.
Yep, yeah,
So
absolutely. We could have
there's
included that in our blind.
you
We
could
could have,
have
yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't, but there's definitely a little bit more warmth in this one that lingers in the chest a little bit longer.
Every time people talk about anything from Beam Centauri,
Hmm.
it's always nutty. And I mean, like every show I watch, when they're like, "Oh, that signature Beam nuttiness," I have trouble finding a peanut flavor.
You want these nuts?
There you go, bourbon nuts. I found them
Bourbon barbecue
today.
peanuts.
Today, I
He brought
really
them. Was like, we got to try these, and I was like, this sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
well,
What about? Can I say I'm allergic to nuts?
listen. I'll put the nuts in my mouth.
And he did. He
I,
put those nuts in his
I
mouth.
mean, I'm biting them, so don't get too excited. But they're not that bad. You don't
This
want to eat
this
them. You
coming
don't
from the
have
guy
to.
who eat or drink anything.
Oh yeah, I finish everything, man. Finish everything. I don't like to
Uh,
leave things unfinished.
Outstanding.
But
That's good. You're not a quitter, so
not bad.
good thing you never took up smoking.
The hot ones. Like I mean, like the hot
Ah,
ones,
like fiery,
peanuts, like
like
fire peanuts, and there's Chipotle peanuts that I like a lot.
hmm,
So and it goes well with drinking because it's just like why people and bars put out
oyster crackers and wine tastings and things like that.
and yeah
Cleanse the palate.
pretzels,
Yeah,
always pretzels on your bar. So peanuts make you want to drink more, but also kills a little bit of the
the heat.
yeah. Those aren't bad. Those aren't that bad. Do you want
Sure.
to taste nuts on air?
Are you gonna make me taste nuts on air?
I don't make you do
All
it.
right,
You don't ever do
he's
anything.
forcing this on me. You guys watch this. He's forcing me to put his nuts in my mouth. This is happening. Prepare for awful, awful facial expressions.
The nuts. Okay, so maybe take the nuts was a bit much.
I wish I was allergic to peanuts right now.
Yeah. One of the famous stand-ups that I want to say it's Kevin James, but it might not be. And one of it. That's another thing on Netflix. They brought in Kevin James to do another stand-up. He hadn't done stand-up in years with King of Queens and then all the other
Right.
shows and stuff. And he's like, well, he makes an allergy joke about allergies, and he's like, well, peanut allergy is the worst. He's like, if you, hands down, you're the winner, because if you get
Hmm.
like dust in the air, you can
Yeah,
die
you're
of a
done.
peanut
Like
allergy.
you can't go to a Texas Roadhouse in your life.
Yeah, yeah. Huge science. I mean, every time you walk in, like, never.
Nope.
And like, listen, if you're allergic to peanuts, you fucking go somewhere else.
You be somewhere else.
Check out Chili's or something.
When
Shit
you
ain't
when you
great.
see this place, you be somewhere else. You go somewhere else in
So if
your
it's something
mind.
you don't like and they have to go with you, and you want to get rid of them, take them to Texas Roadhouse.
I kissed a girl that was allergic to peanuts. Ate a Snickers just before.
Rest in peace. But I hated that funeral. By the way, that was really mean of you. So I never wanted to carry that casket, but you made me. So
And on that
this is
note,
still good. Like that's funny too because we just did a blind with 100s, right? Well, two 101s and a 99. So whatever that average is.
it's not bad, but I still think I like the weediness of the
I like the turkey more.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's man. But you know what? It's not just us. But then so for the longest time we were saying like how influenced are we by what everybody else likes to a degree, and then we started doing blinds and we just did one, and if I say this you're gonna have to try that one first, or people need to watch it first. Like Wild Dirty won. I mean, it's just We
Yeah,
need to try the 80.
definitely
Let's
bring some
buy the 80
flavors.
just because it's turkey.
Okay.
We should buy the 80. Oh, by the way, the I saw that the Baker's has I don't know how often it comes out or not, and I didn't watch the episode because I was watching episodes of things we've done to try to get knowledge of what we're so we could tell you guys and share the knowledge. But they have a 13-year version of this.
Really?
13-year single barrel Bakers.
So I've really not heard good things about this overall. Like
I didn't.
my parents used this to make like bourbon balls,
Okay.
and they were delicious bourbon balls.
Right.
However, they used it because they didn't like drinking it.
And we do that a lot. Well, with some things, with the barrels we have.
Mhm.
So not everything. You poured some stuff in here that was still good shit.
18 bourbons in that barrel.
Yeah, 18. No, no, is it?
I think it was 18 is what you said.
I don't remember, but I believe you. But I don't believe you because now I'm thinking I'm crazy.
Because we said something like it was like legal
Turns out
to buy lottery tickets and porn.
sounds like that. Oh, I didn't count it.
But
You
anyway,
keep riffing.
so we are going to try this next, the Baker's 107. It is a single barrel, and
Yeah, it's either 17 or 18. He's right. He's right.
I know
In this barrel right
in
here,
that barrel, 3 liters, baby,
the infinity of infinities.
to infinity and beyond. We'll try it at the end of the episode just for you guys,
So there's
just for
new
shits and giggles.
that Lightyear movie's coming out where
Chris Evans
yeah,
is the voice of Buzz Lightyear.
I want to Google interviews
But
with Tim
anyway.
Allen to find out how pissed he is. Like,
I don't think he's that pissed
well, like, I mean, he can't
because
be
I
too
think
pissed because
they brought him back in Disney as the Santa Claus.
oh yeah, they're doing that whole
So
series of that.
yeah, he's got to find a new Santa so they can fire him completely.
I don't
Here you go,
I
sir.
don't remember what we're looking for. What I'm looking
You were looking for the count on the bourbons in the barrel, and you said it was 17 or 18.
Oh, I'm going. I know.
I don't know what he's doing.
I do.
Um,
Occasionally,
but
not right now.
I wish I might try and find a like picture of the old version of this so you guys can see the difference in the bottles.
The other one looks like a wine. It looks like this bottle. It looks very much like this bottle
Yes.
with it says Baker's, and that's when it was small batch. This is a single barrel. Book or no coined small batches.
The other weird thing about this is that I could not find this anywhere in our area. This bottle right here went across state lines.
I found it at one of the stores, and there was only one left. But okay, so it's a $60 price point.
Yeah,
That's not above and beyond crazy, but that's also not super cheap.
Yeah, it's not a cheap bottle by any means.
3 kids and a wife, and you know what I mean. I'm not a bazillionaire, regardless of what you might think.
You
by
and
my
me both,
awesome
buddy.
yak hat from 20 years ago.
Did you
But
fall into it?
I did
Well, that's good.
occasionally.
There you go.
So, but I pull the trigger because I don't. I pull the trigger more frequently when it's something I don't see that often.
Right.
So I was like, well, it's $60, but the first like 1 week when I was there, they had like 10 bottles lined up on a shelf,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next week when I went in, there was 1 bottle left, and I was like, so, all right, let's take it, let's buy it.
And that's fair. Like if you see something that's not always available, like we saw this thing, it was called Copper Tongue.
Yeah,
It was like a $200 bottle or
yeah,
whatever.
125
But
ish.
and it's like a rare bottle and stuff. But we actually watched and did some research on it before we bought it, and everyone said it basically left ash in your mouth.
Before we didn't buy it.
Yeah, we didn't buy it. We did not.
We thought of it as an investment more than necessarily.
Yeah, and we looked at it and we thought maybe, and then we watched Fred Minnick and Bourbon Junkies, and they were both like, "This is awful."
Yeah, yeah.
So if Fred Minnick says it's awful, and the Bourbon Junkies who are closer to us in their like
age
and mannerisms,
yeah, and
like, I'm gonna take both their words over like just someone I've never met before. Like, oh yeah, it's great. Like, or like the guy who's trying to sell me a $200 bottle.
Right, absolutely.
Salesman.
And it was because when I saw the first, they call them orphan barrels. What you're talking about there. There was a couple of them, and then I went back and there was one, and then I went back in to get it. I was like, whatever, there's only one of them. I'm gonna go get it, and it was gone, and I was mad. And the guy told me that was working there, like we sold that bottle today, like a little earlier today. I was pissed, and then I went to another liquor store that's another 20 minutes away. That's not too far, but I go there when I can and when I'm down that way. And they had like 6 bottles of it, and it was basically the same price, $5 difference or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, like it's really weird that we live in small towns and we have maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6. I saw it recently ads on TV on local television for a place on you can bleep out the word, but like it's a liquor store, and I've never been to it. I didn't know. It's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. It's apparently Rain Man's fault because it's talking through. So yeah.
You
Nonetheless,
did you pour yourself some
no,
bakers, not bookers?
no, and this'll now you've never tasted Booker's before?
I've
Bakers,
never tasted
Booker's.
bakers before, other than in pastries or delicious treats.
These are cool and what?
That is a
Okay,
weird little nipple. Like you give
that's
that to a baby to soothe teething.
yeah, and I don't know. Do I? Is it plastic or is it wood?
That's plastic, sir.
That's plastic.
That's
Just that
awesome. Yeah, that's plastic.
because you can tell by like the
I
notches.
can show you.
Okay, yeah,
That is also plastic.
fair enough. This is a screw top.
No, that's weird that the synthetic cork is making like a hell of a comeback, man.
Is it because
That's
corks disintegrate and synthetic ones
Yes.
don't?
So
Is that the whole
my
point?
one of the robes actually had a older bottle that they'd opened, and they hadn't been doing the thing where you are supposed to, and this is your monthly reminder to wet your corks.
Wet your corks.
He hadn't been doing that, and so he ripped it off, and the top ripped off, and the cork stayed. So he had
Blasphemy.
to basically like get a corkscrew and then figure out how he was going to close it up again.
Right.
So wet your corks because it's important. Otherwise, they disintegrate. And if
Yeah.
they're synthetic,
And we just talked about either this episode or the very end of the last one about like investing as far as like just grabbing stuff to sit because you know it's discontinued.
mhm,
You know what I mean? I got an old 1783 bottle that's brand new that they
yeah,
changed like last year. I paid $20 and I didn't buy all the bottles I saw. I bought one. I bought two because not in the same day, but I bought one because it was a 750 and one because it was a 1 liter and it's a completely different design. And I thought, whatever, maybe later on in life my kids might get a bunch of money out of that or something. I don't know, but
you
I
never
bought
know.
one at $20 still. They didn't even
Right.
jack those up. You know what I mean? You know what I saw that but like the point of that all was that so like everybody there's a lot of stuff going on bourbon groups and on YouTube and everywhere else where people get upset about people buying things to save and not drink. And I feel like the bottles we buy, or I buy, I'll say
Mhm.
I because we buy separately, is and to keep are things that are discontinued just because
Mm.
it's kind of like cool. It's the collector in me that thinks those ways. The guy who collected
It's
cards and stuff
it's
years
a
ago.
little bit of that, but it's also so I actually just had a discussion about all this with my one friend about how
Ooh.
it's great for bourbon culture if you can't find everything you want on any given day.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's the same with any other collectible. Like we can't find Colonel Taylor every single day. So when we find it, if we can get a bottle of that, that's a good day for us. Like that's a fun day. That's super cool. Like
Oh
I can't believe I
yes.
found a bottle of Colonel Taylor. And you get enjoyment. You get endorphins from that. You have fun because you were able to find one of the bottles you can't find all the time. And a lot of people that say things like, "Well, this is stupid that I can't get what I want when I want it," or like the secondary market is $200 for this bottle. That's
I do
actually
not
you.
endorse the secondary market.
I do.
Oh, completely.
I do endorse them, but I don't buy from them.
Right.
I understand that it's a necessary evil because people are willing to pay that because they want to be part of the hobby. When you finally have something like
I
there's a card game that I invest in that the bottom fell out because all the investors took their money and left. So everything's widely available all the time. So there's no actual monetary value for the collectors. So why bother? So they all left. So that game may die just because there's no money behind it to buy the things that were rare and exotic. Whereas if you have rare and exotic things in a hobby or something like that, that is great because it brings more views, more eyes, because there's people who are like, oh, I like money, so I can buy what I could. Like, honestly,
You're
like,
like there are people that like I like money.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure most people.
I like money, so like I like to find things that are rare and interesting. So if I can get something that someone else doesn't have, I'm gonna do it. Like, I mean, this is what is it? The Booker's 2021 third batch. And so I have another bottle of this that I'm never opening. I bought two, one for us to try.
We opened this one because I have one bottle
Yes.
and he had two, so I didn't open
And
mine.
it's because it's hard to find.
Yeah.
And it's another one that I have that I don't ever see myself opening because it's part of a collection that I can be like, hey, I have this. And when 2031 comes around, it's a 10-year-old bottle. It's not open. You know how many of those are going to be left? Not
Not many. No.
So it's a cool part of the hobby and it's an enjoyable thing. And I don't do it on a large scale by any means. I don't buy like, I don't buy out stores and I
We
don't
don't
buy
hoard.
12 at a time.
We've never
But
hoarded.
I buy some that are like, hey, this is a trophy. Like I like this. This is something I got that not a lot of people have,
I agree.
and it's good for the hobby. Like you can bemoan it and hate it all you want. The truth is that without the money of collectors behind the hobby, that hobby dies. Like, look at TY Beanie Babies. He flooded the market. Everything was widely available. Everything crashed. Look at 90s baseball
There you
cards.
go. You beat me
You
to it.
flooded the market with
Nice.
all these different varieties and things. People just gave up. They're like, I have this card already. I have their rookie card. I don't need a different version of the same guy's rookie card.
Right.
Like, come on. And so
Mass produced.
those things were printed to oblivion. And the TY guy, I understand why he did what he did. He wanted a cheap toy for kids, and a bunch of people, our age or older or younger, were buying them and trying to trade them and flip them. I mean, Princess Diana bears were like $2,000 in their prime, and I mean, still some of the very rare Princess Diana bears are like, several $1,000s because there's only like 10 of them in the world or whatever of these variants
Sure.
from I don't know, they have like a different filling. I don't know.
You just gave me a thought.
But so it's unique and it's wild and it's exotic, and if you don't have that and everything's widely available, you're gonna lose interest. People aren't gonna care.
You should call this something like the Will Smith slap barrel, and then you can buy it for $8 million, and nobody will ever get it again.
I was thinking we call it the Joe Exotic
Oh, my God.
because
Tiger King.
after you drink it, you'll never financially recover.
Yes. True. Oh my God. That was terrific. That was so good. He's totally right. That's what we do. We don't, neither
Yeah,
one of us go into any store and they're like, oh my God, they have that. The Maker's 46 just recently announced that Maker's Mark recently
yep,
announced they're changing the 46 bottle to one of the square bottles like Maker's Mark is on most of their
sure.
baseline and all their other ones. They did, and when they did the 46, it was more curved and so on and
Hmm.
so forth. It's a different bottle. And we each grabbed like one. You know what I mean? I told
Yeah,
him I grabbed a little one. I saw 375 of it, and
yep,
I was like, it could be cool later on in life. But there was also six more on there. I didn't buy six. I bought one. I was like, it'd be cool. Like, set it up there and blah blah blah
yeah.
blah. So
And so now we have a little piece of Maker's Mark history.
absolutely.
So with all that being said,
With
I
all
believe
the
it's
red
time for
wax.
some
What?
Bakers.
Oh, I already drank it.
Oh,
Well, I
what?
drank. I tasted it. I didn't drink it all. I tasted some when you were talking.
There's definitely spiciness there.
It's
Like
hot and
it's
it's
yeah, like it's not mellowed. It's you can for being a 7 year, 3 month aged in a barrel bourbon,
yeah.
I feel like it should be less. It should be more mellow. It shouldn't be nearly as.
Do you get any of the nuttiness still, or don't you?
I feel like it's just those nuts you made me put in my mouth.
Listen, you either go to Texas Roadhouse or you put the nuts in your mouth, one or the other.
I don't see any horns on you, boy.
True story. Um, so to go back to something, Baker's is it's a single barrel, 107 proof.
It,
Baker Beam is still alive. Everything I
yeah,
googled today said he's 86 years old and going on
right on.
86. His birthday. I apologize, I don't have that by heart. He started as a night watchman in 1954. He became a yard laborer, a night supervisor, and then a distiller. Now, on their website, they refer to him as a distiller, and he's not listed as a master distiller, but I've heard some shows refer to him as a master distiller, but he's still alive. You can talk to him about it.
You think he'll live to be 107?
That would be awesome.
That would be
Because
cool.
if they put out that bottle, I would buy it,
Yeah.
collect it, hold it, and you can all go shit on yourselves. Um, so Booker, okay, so Baker's came about because Booker No made it. Booker No was the grandson of Jim Beam. His last name is No because his mother was the daughter of Jim Beam, so her name changed when she got married. So Booker No created this, and when he asked Baker, who was still working there, as a matter of fact, on the website, if you go look, it says every family has a rebel. Baker is ours. Baker's just a different guy. He's more, or he was a different. He is a different guy than Booker, who's passed away. So that's going to be weird with is and was, but he says Booker was very outspoken, and Booker went out there and sold and talked, and he was very like and Baker describes himself as more of an internal guy, and he just separated, did all the work that he could do, and this, that, and the other. And when Booker came to him and said, bake, we're gonna make this and we're gonna call it Baker's. He's like, why? Why are you naming it after me?
Hmm.
And and Booker said to him, because that's a fucking cool name, man. Like
Yeah.
Baker's is a cool name. Like we can
Yeah.
sell that kind of shit. Like basic. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but if you look it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. So
Right on.
yeah, the Booker thing, and we're gonna get to Booker, but like something that jumped out to me immediately today when I looked it up. So he was born in 1929. My dad was born in 1929. He died in
Damn.
2004. My dad died in 2003. That just clicks because that's my dad and my. It's not gonna
Yeah.
click for other people, but and so on and so forth. But I can say more a little bit more about the Baker's thing. But Baker was just like, yeah, from everything I read, he was very chill, but he just wanted to do his work and work hard. And he always made. There's some comments on there from him that say things like like when they would ask him, he would just say, "Look, I just wanted to get the work done. The whole idea was getting the work done. That's what you needed to do. It's not like whether or not it's fancy or you like it this much or that much." He's like, "If there's work to do, I'll do it." And he was crafty. He would fix things. He would do this. He was the night watchman. He was the this. He was
Yeah.
the that. And he's a cousin of Booker. Like Booker's passed away, Baker's
Yeah.
still alive. Blah blah blah. Anyway, sorry.
Cool.
Backstories.
I
You know
like
what I
it.
mean? Yeah.
I mean, they have them for superheroes. Why not for people who make bourbon?
Make believe backstories, but these are real backstories. And yeah, Baker's apparently pretty. He still does like appearances occasionally, and he'll do some
That's
stuff
cool.
and this, that, and the other. But and this used to be small batch. When it changed the bottle design from a bottle like this to this, they changed it to single barrel. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Not a fan, not gonna lie.
I
It
feel like
was
it's
too
dry.
it
It's
was
got a
you're not wrong. It doesn't linger a lot except for the burn. The burn lingers and everything else goes away. There's no flavor other than just a little bit of straw, but I'm not really picking up any like notes of like nuttiness or fruit or anything. I'm just picking up burn for something that's literally what is this? 107 proof.
yeah.
So it is up there, but that's all I'm picking up is the burn. I wish there was more of a flavor profile to it. Or at least, a little bit more silkiness on that and it lingered a little bit or
I will
something.
say the burn and the lack of flavor, which I agree completely on, is true 100%. I have tasted worse as far as no flavor or a
Yes.
worse burn
I mean,
or,
we tried Town Branch.
yeah. In the last episode we did the Ezra Brooks was part of our blind.
Yep.
We both picked it last.
Yep.
And we were both, I mean, I guess we were both right. It was blind, so it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. That's what we said was right. So,
Hmm.
but like that one was a lighter. It was a bit of a lighterness to it, but the
Hmm.
burn was all there was, and it went away. This one at least has body to it, and like the
Yeah.
107. I don't know. It's not the worst thing I've ever had.
But it's not something I would buy again for $60.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Depending on my financial situation at the time, probably not though.
If
But
money isn't an issue, I still feel like I'd go Wild Turkey 101 over Baker's 107.
oh well, yeah, of course, yeah, that's a given. I
Like,
there's not a lot of things I would buy over Wild Turkey 101 if I just want to drink. You
that's
know,
fair. I mean, but even if, like, I understand why my parents put this in
I'm
bourbon
gonna put more
balls.
nuts in my mouth. Just letting you guys all know.
Because it's not all that special. It's like, yeah, I got a bottle of this. What the hell am I going to do with it? I don't want to drink it. So I'm going to mix it in things.
We do a lot of stuff, or we have done a
But
lot of stuff that we discuss about IBN, this bourbon night, and oh, we're already okay then.
yeah,
Boy, all right then. I smelled the bottle. Shut your face. Not you,
I
those
like
people.
I like the smell. I like the nose. The smells a little sweeter than the other two.
And again, Booker sort of created small batch whiskeys. He's known as the historian of he created small batch with his Bookers, which was first introduced in 1987, according to everything I read. So
What's really wild about this
he was the master
is
distiller for 40 years of Jim Beam. Booker.
that's a long time. It's longer than I've been alive.
It's true. It's not longer than I've been alive. Shut up.
Um,
Not you.
so what's really weird about Booker's is that I remember my dad used to be able to buy this for like $50 whenever he wanted to at any liquor store, and he loved it. Like he enjoyed the hell out of it.
This will be my first time tasting Booker's at all.
This will be my first time tasting this exact batch.
And I believe it's quarterly they put this out,
Yes, because this
seasonally.
is the oath. This is the third batch of 2021.
Right.
And now you should be able to find the fourth batch somewhere. Like I think they were starting to release
I
that.
think it's seasonal if I remember what I read on
Yeah,
the
I don't
website. I
know.
think they put out one for each season.
Hmm.
So, and we actually, so a funny story about this. Well, one of these, the one I have and one of the two he has, is I went into a liquor store, or one of our local liquor stores, and I said,
Hmm.
listen, can I get on the list for Booker's? Because I never see it and I would like
Right.
to get one. And, I was like, oh, he's like, I don't think we have a list for Booker's. He goes, I think we only have one guy who wants to know. We have one phone number for one guy, and he usually buys one or two bottles. And he went out back and he came back out and he had a bottle, and anything with Booker's comes in that box. I don't know where
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
box
Yeah.
is. And he was like, "Here you go, man. You can have this." He usually buys one or two bottles and that's it, and then he doesn't, get any more. And he said, "I think we got. Hold on." And he comes back out and he hands it to me, and I said, "Wow, that's awesome, man.
That's pretty
Is that cool?" And again, it was like $80, but like that's not price gouging. That's the MSRP is
cool. Yeah.
somewhere around $80. And he brought it out to me. I said, "You got any more back there?" And he said, "I think there's a couple more, maybe, or something to that effect." And I said, "All right, well, if I give you my buddy's name, which is his name, which I put neat big balls, he
Not wrong.
he was like right on." And then Big Balls over here went over and got his extra bottle, so that's where that came from. But
Yep.
I don't even understand necessarily why, if the guy who wanted it from maybe a month or two prior and didn't get it, they saved one or two or more out back. Why didn't they put them in the lock cabinet at least and put whatever price they wanted on 'em? They don't price gouge, but
Yeah.
again, they could have, because it's 80, they, again, people add 5, 10, $15. You have a business.
Yeah. It's a
If
business.
this
You
would have
got
been 250, I wouldn't have even texted him. I
right.
would have texted him being like, "Don't ever go there because this is bullshit." You know what I mean? That's what I would have done because you know as well as I do that's
Right.
80, $90 minimum or maximum. Sorry,
Right.
not minimum. Minimum. Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway,
But I feel like that's the difference between like a store price gouging and like the secondary
I have
market
no
of just
taste of
like
this. Have
people.
you tasted
No,
it?
I've just
Oh,
sniffed.
all right.
So cheers
Sniff.
to Booker's.
To Booker, and Booker passed away, so rest in peace, Booker. Now, you did a great job. 40 years, you were the master distiller at Jim Beam. That's impressive. The nose is pleasant.
The nose is nice.
I like the
There
nose.
is a hell of a burn.
In the nose,
I
or did
drank
you
it,
drink it? Okay. Okay.
but that's to
What's the
be
proof on this?
expected because the proof is 125.5.
Oh, by the way, and this is a new episode. Look, we have this bottle. I'm going to tell you this story. It's going to take me just a sec. This is the first bottle we ever drank on our show. It's the very first episode. This is the bottle. It's 1783. It's the new version of 1783 Evan Williams. We are going to put a dime in it for every subscriber. And once we get to 1,000 subscribers, that'll be $100, and we're going to donate it to a charity, probably a charity that has something to do
Veteran
with
related.
veterans. Because
Yeah.
our first episode we filmed, not that came out at that time because we're not live, was on 9/11, and that's a cool thing. A cool way to do it. And that's the very same bottle. And the whole point of this, I'm not really sure. So you should talk now.
Yeah, but wow, that is super hot on the front, but it does have a taste profile, which is it's a lot better
Cool.
than
Let's blow a fireball if we get 1,000. If you get 5,000 subscribers, I'll do it. We'll do it outside, obviously, but I will blow a fireball.
I feel like we should hold off because you're already chopping off your beard at 1,000, and we're donating $100 to a charity.
In, baby.
Maybe we wait and like
I'm
do like
some bourbon.
we'll step it up at like 5,000. We
No,
fireball.
get me to 1,000. We'll cut it off. We'll drink it. We'll swallow it. We'll burn it.
Ah, jeez. Okay.
All the same episode, but like.
I think can we at least wait till 2,000 to like watch you fireball? Because I don't want to call an ambulance before we get paid.
Oh, all right, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'm old. You should try practice anyway. What if I just pass out and you're like, dude, he's old. Like,
I'll use a footrest. I don't know. Get you taxidermied. That'll be fine.
did you sip this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said it burns like hell.
I
This is 125 proof.
I was just about to say to you that's incredibly smooth for
For
that proof.
for that proof, it is.
And
But
again, Booker created small batches. Not, I mean? He created the term small batches. I don't, nothing I read, I didn't deep dive so hard into anything that, like, in the number of barrels that he met, you know what I mean, made into the small batch. But I wonder, you know what I mean? I could try to do research. It might be overly long to get the answer to this, but of all the 60 plus things we've tried on these shows,
yeah,
I wonder if we've ever tried anything with a higher proof.
then 125.5. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It would have to be a barrel pick, and those are I don't know.
That's way more flavorful and yummy than this Baker's is. I apologize, Baker. I love that you're a rebel, and I think it's awesome that you got something named after you that you didn't even try to get named after you.
True.
I like Baker more than I don't want to say I like Baker more than Booker because Booker's the one that named it after him, even though he didn't know, and he was like, "What?"
It's the
Like,
Bookers, the Bakers, and the Knob Creek Makers.
that's right. That's a great, and that was, yeah, you coined that shit. I loved it. I still love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's hot. It's
sweetness.
definitely
Yeah.
hot, but there's definitely a flavor to it. I'm not picking up nuttiness, but I'm picking up a sweetness that wasn't there with the Bakers.
What's the rare breed? What's that old rare breed?
I don't know.
So we tried this. It's right on the top, 112. Okay.
So a lot of the barrel picks that I'm seeing are like 114, 120 at most.
So
Um,
barrel picks go up and down because a lot of the different distilleries have different barrel entry proofs. So I want to say it was either Turkey or one of them, Makers maybe, that has the lowest barrel entry proof.
yeah.
And barrel proof can go up and down depending on.
And we learned that with the Jesse thing.
Right, right, right.
So like I always thought it was like the alcohol would evaporate, so you would have to put it at a higher proof, and then it would come out because the alcohol would the angel share would
Right.
evaporate, which alcohol has a much lower what the hell's the word? I've been drinking.
Fair enough, me too.
Um, vapor pressure, scientific term, than water does. So the alcohol should be the first thing that evaporates. But what Jesse was explaining to us is that the barrels like this, they're basically like a lung and they breathe in and breathe out. And so you can get the alcohol trapped in the barrel on like a humid day and then it would go back in after the water had evaporated and raise the actual alcohol content.
What
So,
those IBM picks we have, are any of those over like
well,
124?
that's what I'm saying is like that's 114. The new ones are, like 119 maybe if you're
But
lucky.
nothing at
Nothing
this.
at 125. Not that I've seen.
What's the legal limit in the United States
I
for
might
it
be
to
a buck
be
25.
bottled?
140?
40? Okay. And you can't get on a plane at what? 140 or 160? Over. There's a certain proof you can't get on a plane if your whatever you have is over that because then it's flammable and blah 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 planes.
Right. I don't know.
No, me
Do you need some
neither.
200 proof
Nope.
ethanol? Because I could get that for
I
you.
would I need thanks.
It's
But that's it's
100% ethylene.
amazing and it's awesome and it's wonderful and for the price point I understand it because it's amazing and awesome and wonderful at that proof and it's almost saying like whatever he did and however he figured it out and however his son and his grandson are doing it now, Fred and Fred Jr. or whatever.
Sure.
Like his middle name, I want to say it's James. Jim Beam's middle name was Beauregard. James Beauregard Beam.
Hmm.
I don't know why I remembered that. I was about to say it was Booker's. It's not Booker's middle name. It's Jim Beam's middle name.
So
Beauregard. Anyway,
if he was
that's
a
weird.
rapper, he would have been, y'all know me, still JBB, but I've been low key.
He was probably down with OPV, but I mean,
That's fair.
there's a plausible, realistic.
I mean, other people are down with his property.
What's the confiscated oldie? You know what I mean?
Confiscated. Oh, the
Kentucky
Kentucky
Owl.
Owl?
Yeah. I don't know that we've had
I don't
anything
know.
this proof.
I don't
I,
think
I
we
was
have.
trying to look at the ones I have listed.
We'll double check it and get back to you.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of.
this is
So
yeah. That's tasty,
it is.
bro.
It's
Oh
for the
my
proof.
god,
For the proof, it's
that's
not
so
bad.
good for the. Wait, we have to do one more thing.
Oh goodness.
I want him to try this. I tried
Birds.
this
Oh, it's
recently.
birds.
I bought a bottle, as you see. This is how much is left of this bottle because I liked it that much. However, it's been open for maybe a month, month and a half. This has nothing to do with
Damn.
oxidation.
That's all him.
Right. No, no, it's my bottle. It's a late night sipper. David Nicholson Reserve, I believe is from Luxco, if I'm not mistaken. Family owned Lux Row Distilleries. Lux Row, Luxco. They were recently merged with MGP. So MGP, basically makes this now, more or less. I'm sure they use their mash bill. They have people involved. This was a $28 bottle at our local store, and it's always there. One of our local stores, but at that one local store, it's always there. So finally, I was like, whatever, let's try that one. And I tasted it. I was like, that's pretty good. And then I started watching some of the shows with people. I'm a very visual guy. I don't like to read as much as I like to watch things. I absorb better watching things. And I was like, that's really good. And then I looked up, and Fred Minnick, as I told you, did a thing where he spent over $2,000. He said on bottles. He went into one whiskey store, one liquor store, and he said, "Give me everything under $40 you have that's bourbon." And he did a thing, and the last blinding thing, he did a blind thing. And the last two he ended up with was this, and do you remember what I told you the other one was?
I do not.
Okay, this one and another one for under
Oh, it
forty
was the one we
dollars.
tried, the
Yes.
10-year.
Over $2,000. Was it the Russells?
Russell 10-year or
Might have
the
been.
Mackenzie
I have to
10-year.
look
I
it
don't
up.
know.
Not New York, Mackenzie.
Okay.
Can't be, can it?
I have no idea.
Nonetheless, this was one of his
It's China.
final two standing.
This
Final
one?
two. Might be. And I kind of like Old Tub in a way, as far as I go. Like, I loved it when I tasted it. I was like, that's unbelievably good for the price I'm paying. And I thought the same thing about this. And then I saw Fred Minnick thought the same thing. And the people, like, he did that. He did it blind. And he came down to those last two. And it was David Nicholson and Rare Breed. You were
Uh,
this, but it's Turkey. Yeah, it's Rare Breed. And
yep.
I think Rare Breed won out. He might be right, too. I'll watch that episode, Michael. But this is so good. You have to taste this.
Okay.
But see, now what I did was like build everything up in his head. I've changed his mindset. He needs to believe this is going to be yummy, and so I hope. I wish I would have blinded.
I swear to God, if you emptied this bottle and put scotch in here,
I swear to God, I did not. On my parents' graves that I've just been
yep.
mentioned alongside Booker, no, because he's
Also,
fourth year. My dad was born.
they put this cool little thing in the box for you. It tells you like where each barrel that they mix this
Well, the
from.
Booker's right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
cool, and
pretty
it's got
cool.
all the
It's got
percentages.
it tells you how much, what percentage of what barrel from what floor on what rack house. Like it's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
Like they tell you exactly what's in here, so it's pretty cool.
I hear there are people, or I've seen in episodes and hear and heard that there are people who know all the Four Roses things because they have two mash bills, but no, they have 10 different things because it's like five yeast strains and two mash bills, and they mix them all up. So when you buy a single barrel, there are people who can think they can differentiate between all those things, and it's like, you know what I mean? Same thing. Like it's just, I don't know.
I have a joke about that.
Oh, shit.
So you guys are in for a treat,
There you go.
and you 3% ladies that probably watch this. So there's a gentleman who did I tell this joke on air already?
I don't know where the joke's going.
So
You know, yeah.
the
Plus, I've been drinking.
that's fair.
I don't know if I told you.
This gentleman walks into a bar. It's like a mid-grade bar. It's not a dive bar. It's like it's okay. It's not like the super high end, but it's they got some stuff. And he asked for a 1983 Cab Sauv from a very particular winery.
Okay.
And the bartender just gives him the house wine. And he drinks it and he spits it out. He goes, "Sir, I don't know what swill you're trying to give me, but this is not what I asked for. I asked for the 1983 Cab Sauv from this particular winery." And he's like, "Okay." So he gives him something from that winery, but it's like a 1995.
Right.
And so he gives him that and he takes it, he spits it out. He goes, "Sir, I see you found the right winery. However, this is a 95. This is not the 83." It's like, so just to see how good he is, he gives him the 1984.
Right.
And so he takes it, he swigs it, and he drinks it. He goes, "You're close, but I see you're off by a year. This is a 1984." And there's this guy who's been sitting next to him the whole time, just kind of like minding his own business. "Here, drink less, drink less."
Okay.
So he says, "Okay," and he drinks it, and he spits it out of the cooler. "That's piss." He goes, "Yeah, now tell me how old I am." Uh,
I know you've said that before. I don't know if it's on TV because I didn't know where it ended like until you did it. And I was like,
uh,
oh my god, he's
yep.
talking about drinking the pee again. Like I'm the one who's off the rails. He's the one who's always technical and strategic, and he has all these,
Jokes. I
yeah.
got jokes.
He's,
All right, so
You know what I
there we
don't
go.
know, and now I'm so
Cheers.
interested. I might look it up later, even though it's not part of our plan. Is who David Nicholson was. I know this is a
He's a
Luxro
golfer?
brand. He's not. He's not Jack Nicholson,
Oh, okay. Never
which
mind.
was not
My
a
bad.
golfer either. That'd be Jack Nicholas. Like the actor was Jack
I always
Nicholson.
got those two confused.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Well, they're both older, and they're
They're
both
both
kind of
Jack.
bombastic and weird, and sort of not weird, but
You want to
sort
get
of
nuts?
a little.
Let's get nuts.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
shoots Michael Keaton.
I still think, see, and that's my generation, and I guess maybe yours. Like, if somebody says, "Who's the Joker to you on screen?" Who do you say?
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, me too. But other people are still say Heath Ledger, and
He is a very good
some
Joker.
people now say Joaquin Phoenix.
No, I've not seen that one.
Really?
No,
You should watch that.
I've heard good things.
It's artsy fartsy in that way that like you watch it, you appreciate it, you see it at the end, and you're like, God damn. Like that's kind of who the Joker probably should be. But you don't
So
ever want to watch it again. It's not lighthearted
that's
enough that you're ever like,
that's
well, we'll just pop that in. That'll be great to see that dude slit that dude's throat
it.
6 times. or whatever happens. I don't know the part. I watched it once and thought he played the hell out of the part.
In If you're still with us in 44 minutes in, let us know who your favorite Joker is.
You edit. You won't be 44 minutes. You'll be like 42 minutes.
Who's your favorite Joker? Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Batman? Who's Batman to you? And I guarantee you it goes by the age. And how old are you?
Well, you
Who's
don't
your
have to
favorite
tell us how
Batman?
old you are. That's kind of weird.
Yes,
That's
you
like a
do.
90s chat room ASL thing.
Do it. Tell me how old you are. I want to hear it. Like, look, if you're
Uh,
20 and you think Michael Keaton's Batman, you're my favorite person.
you will be my new son.
If you're 40, right, right. If you're 45 and you think that Robert Pattinson, aka Edward from fucking Twilight,
Twilight.
is the best Batman, please don't
I have
subscribe.
yet to see that movie, so
Just
I don't
go
know.
away.
I've heard he did a good job.
But
I
he's still
mean,
not Batman.
to be fair, we didn't think that what's his nuts was gonna do it a very good job.
I don't know
Not
what we're talking
Ben
about.
Affleck. We didn't
Oh,
think he was gonna be a good. He did okay.
Batfleck. I mean,
Batfleck. He did a good job for what he is, which is Ben Affleck.
he did, and we're talking about a guy who directed Oscar-winning movies. Like he
Yeah,
directed Argo.
Argo.
Like, and you ever seen like his first major direction was The Town, like
Mhm.
in with Jeremy Renner and stuff. That was a sweet movie. Like he's a
See,
great
the only thing I can think when I think Ben Affleck is two things: is Jay and Silent Bob movies where he's basically on the couch as Matt Damon's writing scripts.
right.
Put my name on that too.
Good Will Hunting. I have to go
And
Good
Good
Will
Will
Hunting.
Hunting.
Yeah.
Whose car we taking?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, do you look out? He's not. It's not him. Yeah.
That's Matt Damon.
Did you ever see
But
Jay and
this isn't bad. What? This is a 50, 100 proof? That's not bad.
100 proof for like 28 bucks that you've never like when you look at it on the I was like whatever I've seen that 1,000 times, let's just try it.
It's not bad. It's a little grainy, but for the price point, it's not bad.
Yeah, I would, like I said, for Edmund, a top two of 40 plus bourbons he bought at $2,000 to find the one he liked the
Now,
most blind.
to be fair, I had never tasted this, and I just tasted this after something that was 125 proof.
I would put this above this. The Booker's
Yeah.
beats this, but if you say I could buy 3 bottles of this for the cost I buy this, then I'm torn. And matter of fact, I'm not torn. I buy 3 bottles of this.
He is Natalie Imbruglia. He's
Because
torn.
yeah, I'm torn.
That's a 90s reference for you.
You
Man.
know you like it. Don't lie to us. So yeah.
So with that,
But Batman, really? Like, I don't know. I mean, Batfleck was fine.
he was okay.
You had to have a person that could confront like Henry Cavill's Batman or Superman.
Superman.
You know what I mean? Like, and you knew that's where they were going. Like Zack Snyder laid it all out from the beginning of
I
that.
never saw the Snyder cut either. I gotta watch that. Yeah.
You've never seen.
Oh, I'm not
The
into
Oscars.
DC as much as I'm into the
Marvel.
Marvel.
The Oscars, when the Will Smith Oscars, okay, slapping Oscars, blah, 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 fuck all that nonsense. But the Will Smith thing, they did a new thing for the first time ever. I keep watching award shows. I've always been kind of into
'Cause
them,
why
and
not?
they're not as cool as they used to be. And even my wife, when Will Smith time happened, she was like, "You're still watching that? Really? That kind of stuff gets boring nowadays." And then he slapped him, and I was like, "What? Right?" So I was still
You've
watching.
never seen anything like this before.
They did new stuff
Except for
where they
Kanye West
showed
and Taylor Swift.
and that was the thing. They showed new stuff where they put it up and they said, crowdsource. We asked these questions for the Oscars and who did this, who did that. And they said, it had something to do with Ben Affleck. What were we talking about?
Batman.
And so they said, the favorite crowdsourced movie moments of the year to do with superheroes. And I'm paraphrasing. And it was like, there was all these Marvel things, but number one was the Flash entering the Speed Force on the Zack Snyder's cut of
Really?
Justice League was the number one favorite thing they saw all year. And I was like, that's weird. I don't remember him. I watched that 4 hour thing, and it was way better than the 2 hour thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
1,000 times better than the 2 hour thing.
If
but
you add, I mean, look
How
at
do you
those
remember
extended
4
cut hobbits, man.
I'm saying, like, they're so much better, and it's just like one ring to rule them all.
But
We're
yeah,
like an hour.
yeah. So
Whatever, you know you love us.
thank you very much for if you've stuck with us this long. We appreciate it
Touch my
greatly.
Touch it.
Thank you so much. And I'm Nate,
Cut it. I'm Rox.
and this has been the Bourbon Barrel.